6 News presents local sports highlights, features, and all of the heart-pounding action direct from your home team. This is Sunday Sports Overtime.
Good evening, I'm Ross Sternstrom, and welcome to Sunday Sports Overtime. Over the next half hour, we will look at some of the biggest local sports stories in the metro area. Coming up, the Creighton Prep baseball team defends its state title. Can the Junior Jays win 3 state titles in a row? And we go beyond the lines in Papillion, where a Monarch athlete helps another student every day.
Now, big sports from the area's primetime programs. Sponsored by Lusterstone.
Up first, the NCAA basketball tournament. Omaha was home this weekend to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 games. What a matchup today between the #1 seed Kansas and the #2 seed Duke in the Midwest Regional Final. The Jayhawks won in overtime, 85-81. For the first time since 2012, Kansas is headed to the Final Four. The #1 seeded Jayhawks edged the #2 seed Duke 85-81 in overtime. Kansas head coach Bill Self was thrilled to get his team to San Antonio.
I don't think I could be or we could be more excited or more proud than what we are right now. Not only going to San Antonio, but the way that we did it, beating an historic program, maybe the greatest college basketball coach of all time, and such a talented roster, and to do it in a way that we haven't done it all year long. We haven't beat anybody on the glass all year long. We win the rebounding battle by 15 or whatever today. So I couldn't be happier or more proud, and certainly very proud to be a part of that game. That was an epic game that one of the best ones, if not the best, that I've ever been a part of.
In the final minute of regulation, the Jayhawks trailed 72-69 when Svi Mikhailiuk knocked down this three-pointer with 26 seconds left to tie the game up and send it into overtime.
Everybody telling me keep shooting. DT, if the last one I missed wide open, DT said, man, just keep shooting the ball. And like 2 next possessions, he passed me the ball. I was thinking about passing to a corner, but I think it went down, just gapped it, so I just shot the ball and it went in.
The hero for Kansas in the extra period was Malik Newman. The sophomore scored all 13 of the Jayhawks' points. He finished with a game-high 32 points and was named the most outstanding player of the Midwest Regional.
It meant a lot. These guys, they've been here plenty of times, and like Coach always said at the beginning of the year, they've been knocking on the door the last 2 years. So, it just means everything to see these guys be happy going to San Antonio. And, this basically what we was playing for.
The Jayhawks had failed to get out of the Elite 8 as a #1 seed each of the past 2 years. This time, the Jayhawks finally broke through to the Final Four.
It's just a great feeling for us, for the fans, just everything that we've been through this year, all the ups and downs, and, the boot camp and everything that we've been through. We do it for moments like this, and it's just special, especially getting here this same game last 2 years and losing it. It's just getting over that hump, and it just feels unbelievable.
The Final Four will be this Saturday in San Antonio. Kansas will take on the Villanova Wildcats. Michigan will face Loyola of Chicago. The Ramblers are coached by former Creighton basketball player Porter Moser.
We're just lucky to be able to get a chance to try and go for the three-peat, try to get another good season under our belt. And for us, it's more like a responsibility.
3, 1, 2, 3, prep! And can they do it again? Creighton Prep tries to win their 3rd state title in a row. But up next, we go beyond the lines in Papillion, where a star athlete helps another student to lunch every day.
Now, making a difference beyond the lines.
Welcome back to Sunday Sports Overtime. It is a unique friendship between 2 athletes, one headed to Nebraska to play baseball. The other will not allow her lack of vision to keep her from seeing the finish line on the track. Michael Snow goes beyond the lines in Papillion.
Caleb Feakin is a multi-sport star at Papillion La Vista. He set records this season on the basketball court. Both three-pointers made in a game with 9, and three-pointers made all season with 77. He's also heading down to Lincoln next year to play baseball at the University of Nebraska. Emily Keating, an athlete herself, while blind, she doesn't let that stop her from competing in track.
So I do the 100-meter dash, and then usually like somebody helps me run, or like I just run next to somebody.
And while their paths may not cross on the field or court, they did at the start of this school year.
I just had a class with her, and I was sitting by her, and my teacher asked me to take her to lunch one day and like for the rest of the semester, and then we just got to know each other better more and more each day. And I don't know, I like to mess with her, and she gives it back a lot, so it's fun.
Caleb walks with Emily to lunch as often as he can, nearly every day, and Emily thankful for the help.
It was nice because like it's easier for me to have somebody to help me since I can't see I can't see very good, so I can't see like all the options and stuff.
And a big part of their friendship?
She can really dish it out, so I just try to keep her steady.
So what does Emily joke with Caleb about?
Sometimes we make fun about sports, and then
Usually something about how I'm not good at sports.
yeah.
Jokes aside, this friendship has taught both Caleb and Emily valuable life lessons.
Once you like get to know like the person or just introduce yourself, like it's a lot. You realize that like if you feel like there's a gap or something like that in between people, like you can just talk to them and they'll open right up usually.
Since he helped me, like I've kind of learned like how to let other people help me. I feel like it's helped me like open up more easily.
When asked if Emily was the better athlete of the two, she had a quick response.
Yep.
Beyond the Lines, Michael Snow, 6 Sports.
Emily is also planning on attending Lincoln and will be going to school to become a teacher. So this friendship doesn't end after high school. Next on Sunday Sports Overtime, we go to the Diamond, where the Junior Jays of Creighton Prep are ready to defend their state title.
Now, here's this week's local MVP.
You are watching Sunday Sports Overtime. Despite the chilly weather, the high school baseball season has already started in the metro area. The #1 ranked team in the state is Creighton Prep. The Junior Jays are looking for their 3rd Class A title in a row. This was the scene 1 year ago when Creighton Prep won their 2nd consecutive state championship. The Junior Jays finished the season with a 23-12 record. Creighton Prep head coach Pat Mooney and the Junior Jays are ready to defend their state title and try to make it 3 in a row.
There's teams in the Metro that are really good this year. Lincoln Southwest is really good this year. So I don't know if the target's on us totally. There's some teams that can compete. I think we've got a pretty good nucleus of 11 seniors. 10 of them played with us last year, and we went a long way last summer, and they just have some experience, and they kind of know what's going on, and I think they can compete.
Oh, it's huge for us. I mean, we're just lucky to be able to get a chance to try and go for the three-peat, try to get another good season under our belt. And for us, it's more like a responsibility at this point just to play well and play up to the expectations that have been set before us.
Creighton Prep is led by senior infielder Dylan Phillips. The Kansas State recruit batted .500 last season and had a key triple in the state championship game over Westside.
And then last year was a bunch of new guys that grew together over the course of the year. And then this year, we're a mix of half returners, half new guys. So it should be a fun year to try to get it again.
Creighton Prep is coming off an historic season in Legion baseball. Last August, the Junior Jays finished as the national runner-up in the American Legion World Series in Shelby, North Carolina. Creighton Prep ended the season with an amazing 58-7 record. The Junior Jays hope that success in the Legion tournament will carry over into this season.
Oh, it was huge. It was an amazing experience. It kind of validated all the work that we put in, and we knew that if we put that same kind of work in, we could have a chance at that same success. And for us, that was huge. That was huge.
It kind of just you had to play your best because everyone there deserved to be there, and every game's a tough game. And it's a great goal to have to get back there. It really helps you push yourself at the beginning of the year before, the Legion season gets here to get better.
Just knowing how far they can get, how far they got, they're very proud of themselves on on where they went. We're very blessed. We had a lot of things go our way. And I think just that, it's just some of the tension you might run into might be a little easier this year.
North Carolina.
The Junior Jays are off to a strong start this season with a 4-1 record. Creighton Prep split a doubleheader with Grand Island over the weekend. Look for the Junior Jays to be at the state tournament in May at Werner Park. Coming up after the break on Sunday Sports Overtime, hear one athlete's journey back from a torn ACL to setting the scoring record at Bellevue University in this week's Road to Recovery.
Now, the Road to Recovery, sponsored by Ortho Nebraska.
Welcome back. In this week's Road to Recovery, Michael Snow shares the story of an athlete who feared her career was over in high school. Not only did she bounce back, she set a scoring record in college.
Jamie Winkler is a freshman point guard at Bellevue University. She holds the school scoring record after scoring 29 points in a game this season. Her road to setting that record? Anything but smooth.
I just went in for a wide open layup, non-contact, and my knee just buckled.
And when the injury happened in her sophomore year of high school,
Just immediate tears, because I knew what that meant. I knew sitting out 6 months and no playing, no contact, nothing. So it was really hard to hear at first.
after the initial shock and after meeting with Ortho Nebraska, Jamie felt like she could come back from the injury.
My physical therapist, Ashley, she played a huge part in my recovery. I mean, the whole mental toughness, it was hard, but they really helped you through it, and they pushed you just enough to really just, I don't know, just like make yourself believe that you really can do it, and that was just a huge part for me.
Ashley Conlon with Ortho Nebraska is quick to shift the praise, saying it's a team effort to get the athletes back to playing shape.
Well, and it's a collaborative effort between not only the athlete and myself, but the physician, the surgeon, parents are also a huge part of the recovery. And so it's just making sure that everybody's on the same page, that the athlete knows what their goals are, and that we're all working together towards the same goal.
And after spending so much time together, Jamie and Ashley found they had one trait in common.
You have two decisions. You can let the situation beat you, or you can beat the situation. And I talked to Ashley, and we both don't like losing. So we were gonna beat the situation.
And stepping onto the court for the first time after the injury, just as special for Ashley as it was for Jamie.
That first game, especially with Jamie, watching her, you know, she's such a dynamic little player. She was going out there and draining threes. I mean, you're almost like a proud mama at that point. I mean, these athletes have worked so hard for so many months, and to see them finally get out and enjoy and be confident in themselves, I mean, it gives me no greater pleasure.
Definitely scary, but I loved every minute of it. I loved every minute being back on the court.
On a road to recovery, Michael Snow, 6 Sports.
The team finished with a 19-13 record overall and made it to the NSAA semifinals before falling to Valley City State. That wraps up this week's edition of Sunday Sports Overtime. We will see you next week right here. From all of us at WOWT 6, good night.
WOWT 6 News is everywhere.